Disney has finally revealed the new theme for Tarzan's Treehouse, and it looks like it's going to be Swiss Family Robinson. Well, actually, kind of. Not exactly. We'll talk about it. Hi guys, David here with Fresh Baked, and we've got news. Actually, we've got news, and I didn't get into this, a little rumor that you might be interested in. Stay tuned for the end of this discussion about the new treehouse, but let's lead off with that big news. Disney has finally revealed what the new theme is going to be for Tarzan's Treehouse. We have concept art, we've got a theme, we've even got a new name for the tree. They're calling it the Adventureland Treehouse, and in the update say that it's inspired by the Swiss Family Robinson Treehouse, but won't go so far as to say that it is the Swiss Family Robinson Treehouse. It's kind of brilliant when you think about it. In fact, this goes towards the exact kind of thing that I was talking about when we did our video a little while back about the Tomorrowland remodel and the People Mover. It's not about the IP. It's not IP first. The attraction is the IP. The land is the IP. Never mind if it's Swiss Family or Encanto or even Tarzan. The star of the show is the treehouse. The land, Adventureland, is the star of the show. And with this move, they are not locked into a specific IP. They can do whatever they want. So yes, thank you. You recall that conversation that we had about Tomorrowland, about the People Mover, and about the whole land in general. Disney was tying themselves in knots where it seems like they haven't gone anywhere because it feels like they can't make up their mind about what they want to do with the land. How, what IP or what theme they want to make it. The answer is there is no IP. People Mover is the IP. Space Mountain is the IP. Tomorrowland is the IP. Do that first. Let that create. Pirates of the Caribbean is the number one example of all of this. And now Jungle Cruise too as well. Haunted Mansion hopefully as well. So that's just one of the reasons why I'm so excited about this news, because it is IP less. Well, technically. You could ask anyone, what's the theme of that tree? They're going to tell you, that's the Swiss Family Robinson Treehouse. It looks pretty much just like the old treehouse. In fact, they've even got a room called Mother's Music Room. That's in the concept art. Now, if you follow or if you've seen the film, Swiss Family Robinson, then you know that the parents are called, their names are Mother and Father. They don't have, they didn't give them actual names. They just called them Mother and Father. So, tell me this is Swiss Family Robinson without telling me it's Swiss Family Robinson. Am I right? Okay, so let's take a closer look at this concept art, see if we can't figure a few things out. And we'll start with the water wheel and the way into the treehouse. They're bringing both of these elements back from the old treehouse. I loved the water wheel. Well, I should say I love the way it looks in pictures. I have no memory of the old treehouse from my youth, but I'm really glad this is coming back. And, the water wheel looks great in other treehouses at other parks. Also back is the reversed flow for guest traffic. Those stairs behind the water wheel, that's the way up. And, in Tarzan's Treehouse, those stairs would have been the way down. But that's how they did it for Swiss Family, and that's how they're going to do it for this new Adventureland Treehouse. There appear to be 3 separate rooms in the treehouse with a 4th area that I'm having a little bit difficulty figuring out, but I don't think it's a room or anything major. The room in the middle appears to be surviving intact from the old Tarzan's Treehouse. I think also the old Swiss Family Treehouse, I believe. There were just 2 proper rooms in Tarzan's Treehouse. The room with the gorilla looking into the mirror and the room where Jane is drawing Tarzan. My assumption is that the 3rd room at the top right is an expanded version of the cheetah scene, which wasn't really a room, it was just a scene. But they probably are going to build that out a little bit more. I'm also going to assume that Mother's Music Room will be the center room in the tree. This room looks wonderful. Lots of detail and theming elements, musical instruments, rugs, full bookcase, sitting chair. It's wonderful. Actually, the whole tree looks wonderful. I've always believed that the Swiss Family Treehouse was significantly more attractive from the ground and from a distance than Tarzan's Treehouse was. Tarzan's Treehouse was actually kind of meh compared to this. Just look at it. It's glorious. So much to take in with the eyes, whereas Tarzan's Treehouse felt more shrouded in leaves. But getting back to the rooms, I'm curious about the flow. It almost looks like it's going in multiple directions. The stairs lead up behind the center room. Do they go left into the center room? There's a bridge into the center room from the right as well. Is that accessed from the right room after heading down the stairs? And what about those stairs behind the left room? they appear to go nowhere. Or maybe there's going to be a path, like a bridge across to the right room, or a path down to the center room. I mean, it seems like anything is possible. It's kind of a wild setup. By the way, the update notes that the other two rooms will be for the son and daughter. The son's room will be nature-themed, while the teenage daughter's room will be an astronomer's loft. By the way, that's a departure when we talk about this not being, strictly speaking, Swiss Family Robinson-themed. In the film, they had 3 kids, all sons. Here, it sounds like we have 1 son, 1 daughter. And then the bottom floor will feature a kitchen and dining room along with Father's art studio, which sounds delightful. All in all, I cannot be more happy with how this looks and Disney's decision to take the tree in this direction. In our previous video with our predictions about what was going to happen, that was something that we noted, was that this was a much simpler, an easier update to do. It would not have been as complicated or have as big a budget as an Encanto update would have required. And it fits perfectly in the land. We know already that it fits perfectly in the land, especially now that it's being called the Adventureland Treehouse. They have made Adventureland the star. Now, one thing that was not mentioned in this update was S.E.A., the Society of Explorers and Adventurers. There was a rumor that the tree might be themed to S.E.A., adding more depth to this concept that has been growing over the years, and where there's already references to S.E.A. in Adventureland at Jungle Cruise and at Tropical Hideaway. No reference in this update to that, but that doesn't mean that it can't happen. As I said in the other video, that you could do both. You could make this Swiss Family Adventureland Treehouse and S.E.A. All you have to do is, make Father a member of the S.E.A. and drop 1 or 2 references in the treehouse to suggest that he is a member without making it overt and out front. That's already how they do it in most instances, at Jungle Cruise and Tropical Hideaway. But otherwise, again, I am delighted with this. Delighted that they chose Swiss Family. Delighted that they are making Adventureland the star. I love Swiss Family. That's one of my favorite Disney films. I love tree houses. I could not be more excited and more happy with this. It just really makes me happy. And I really do hope that they take this line of thinking into Tomorrowland when they start updating it about 300 years from now. Okay, I promised you at the top of the show, I promised you a rumor. We have a future for Tarzan's Treehouse. We may also have a future for the Hyperion Theater in California Adventure in Hollywoodland. I'll take a minute to let you all shout out your predictions, see how close you get. Okay, rumor has it that a show is coming back to the Hyperion Theater, and it will be in the tradition of shows like, Frozen and Aladdin, that kind of show. But it's not the Captain America show that we saw in Hawkeye, which I would have loved that. I thought that would have been brilliant. I think everybody would have gotten behind that one. It's not Encanto, and it's not the return of Aladdin. Rumor has it that the new show coming to the Hyperion is Coco. Thoughts? Feelings? Are you underwhelmed? Overwhelmed? I didn't see Coco was not on my list. I felt like Encanto was the one that I think that everybody would have figured. I feel like maybe Disney's gotten off the Encanto bandwagon, perhaps. And for good reason, in a sense, because it's just not seasoned very well. Coco is seasoned. It has shown to have tremendous legs. People still love it. It's very popular. And I think Coco would be a great show at the Hyperion. I really do. But the first thing that popped into my head when I heard this wasn't whether or not Coco was the right show for the Hyperion or whether or not I even wanted to see this show, whether I want to see a Coco show. My first thought was that I kind of feel like this puts a halt on whatever, ideas, whatever theories we might have had about Marvel creeping around the corner and into Hollywoodland and the Hollywood backlot. If they had made the show at the Hyperion the Captain America show, now you've got a little bit of a transition that kind of takes it further into the land, casting a possibility that Marvel could eventually wind up in Hollywood, because they got it. Add this to the list of things that Disney needs to figure out. Hollywoodland in the backlot. But if you put a Coco show there, it kind of like, whoop, that's it. That's where the land Avengers Campus stops now, definitely at Tower of Terror or Mission Breakout. I guess it's not 100%. I suppose people who live in the Marvel universe go see shows. And that show might as well be Coco, right? I suppose that you could still do that. I just feel like, it's not like Coco fits any better with Hollywoodland or the backlot itself. It's kind of just there. You know what I mean? It's kind of like it doesn't fit anything. So maybe it's not even required. I don't know. But that was the first thing that I thought of. Yeah, so that's it for now, guys. Tell us your thoughts. Let us know your thoughts on the Swiss Family Robinson Treehouse that isn't the Swiss Family Robinson, but the Adventureland Treehouse. Let us know your thoughts on that. Let us know your thoughts on this Coco rumor. And then I'm going to leave you with a little footage from Tarzan's Treehouse. I want to show you, see if you guys can't conjure up some memories of what the treehouse was like and where do you think they might turn it into a Swiss Family. I wish I had video of Swiss Family at Disneyland. There's no video from Swiss Family at Disneyland. There's hardly any photos. It's so weird that part of it is just gone. So here's some footage from Tarzan's Treehouse. And then follow us on Instagram at _FreshBaked. On Twitter at FreshBakedDisney, that's fresh with no E. And on TikTok at FreshBakedDisney. If you like our show and want to show your support, please do consider joining our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/freshbaked. Otherwise, thanks again for watching, everybody. We love you. Be safe out there. Be kind to one another. Fresh Baked. Pretty good. You finished strong.
Yeah. At each other.
Well, we're not there yet.
Oh, you mean higher up?
Yep.
Where's the sail?
You can't see from here. She's asking about the secret, like the hidden ship mast thing.
Yep, because of you, I know that.
Let's go find it.
Hey, Roger, what do you call something in the middle of the song? I don't know,
What?
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
What do you call something that's
In the middle of a song.
Oh, the song. I thought you said the sun.
Song.
Look at that. How many of them do you think looked at the goat?
I don't think anyone looks at the goat. He's scary. Aww. Tarzan's scared. Lion, Elsa's brothers.
Don't even start that. I do not subscribe.
There's just ridiculous crowds everywhere.